Hello there. I want to talk a bit about strops. And in the straight razor community, generally there are two types of strops that are most commonly talked about. The first is the hanging strop. Everyone is familiar with a hanging strop. And that's by far the most common. The second is usually a paddle strop. And what a paddle strop is, if you don't know, is a piece of wood it's usually a piece of wood, but there are those that make them out of aluminum and other materials now. But it's generally a piece of wood, and it's generally got a handle on it, which is why it's called a paddle strop, because it's shaped like a paddle that people my age and older used to get paddled with at school if you messed up. Okay, and it's generally got a piece of leather on it. Or sometimes it'll have leather on one side and cloth on the other side. Or sometimes it will be just a plain piece of wood that's nice and flat that someone has put chromium oxide paste on, or some other type of paste. And those are the two most common that you hear talked about in the straight razor community, especially in the United States. But there's a third type of strop that's used, and it's used here, but it's used an awful lot in Europe. And as a matter of fact, Mastro Livi, I think he's Italian, razor maker that everyone is familiar with, or most are, he prefers this kind of strop, except his is huge. You know, he likes the big ones, but it's called a loom strop. Now this is a very small one. I love this strop because of its size. It's a perfect travel companion for a straight razor user. And basically what it is, this is made by Gemco. You can probably see the name there. Okay. But Harold sells another one just like this, it looks like. And I would be willing to bet that they're the exact same manufacturer that makes it. And they just put Gemco's name on it, or Harold's name on it. So, but basically what it is, you have a frame here, and there's a threaded rod that comes through, and you can adjust it. You can adjust the tension on this so that you can have it very tight. I keep it very tight when I store it. But this is just a piece of leather that's wrapped around this frame. You can see maybe about how it's constructed. Okay, piece of metal that's wrapped around this frame, and or a piece of leather rather, that's wrapped around this frame, and one side will either have cloth on it, or it'll be pasted like this, and the other side will have leather. Now this leather, they're all not like this. Some of them just got some really fine, smooth leather on it, things like that. But this leather has a bit of nap to it, sort of like Russian leather. And I like that because I got this strop dirty from use. I like the strop. And so I just took some 400 grit sandpaper and cleaned the surface off with that, which is not a big deal because it's nappy anyway. Doesn't hurt it a bit, and I can clean it right up if I get it dirty. But they're wonderful strops. This strop is probably a foot long, including the handle, maybe a little bit more than that, 14 inches at the most. It goes in luggage really easily. It's very compact. If I were traveling, this is what I would carry. And a decent soap, a decent brush, and a decent razor, and that would be my travel kit. But they are wonderful little strops for things like that. And you'll see, like, if you look on YouTube and you look at European barbers videos and stuff like that, you'll see a strop like this a lot of times that those barbers are using. And so it's popular more in Europe than it is in the United States. But these are really cool strops, a really cool concept. I want to show you a bit how I use this strop. Now, you remember I said that the tension was adjustable. I keep it taut like this when I store it, but I like to back it off, and you just turn this handle here quite a bit till it gives quite a lot. Because what I want is I want to give like a hanging strop would have. And what I would do if I traveled with this razor strop was I would do about 5 laps on the chromium oxide side of this strop. By the way, this came with a milder abrasive on here. It was still green, but it was milder. And over time of using the strop, the abrasive stopped working, and I just put chrome oxide on it. It works just fine. But I would do about 5 laps on the chromium oxide, clean the razor off, and then flip over here. And just strop. I would do that every time I shaved, and that would keep this razor good and sharp the whole time that I was away from home. The perfect travel companion and a really cool strop. Alright, I just kind of wanted to share that with you because I think it's a really cool idea, and it's a really old school, old world kind of thing. And so, thanks for watching. Bless you. I'll talk to you later.